All right, everybody, welcome back to Solutions Focused. My name is Evan, and as always, we have a New York Times article. Once again, before we get started, please do like, share, and subscribe if you do enjoy my work, and tell your friends, okay? All right, I'll stop. Let's get to this New York Times article. Opinion: Joe Biden banning assault weapons won't work. That's why, as president, I will push to ban them again. Wait, I don't get it. Okay, so wait. They quote Joe Biden as saying banning assault weapons won't. Oh, it says banning assault weapons works. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. Let's see what we got. Each time a mass shooting, remember what we talked about, a mass shooting is a 4 or more, strikes one of our communities, we grieve, we gather our loved ones, we reach for answers and clamor for action. Each time for a moment, it feels like this time will be different. But then the news cycle rolls on and we push down the gut-churning knowledge that it will only be a matter of time before it happens again. Between El Paso and Dayton, only about 13 hours elapsed. Republican leaders try to prevent action and parrot NRA messaging, which, again, I know that people like to say all the time that the NRA is this like big nefarious character. I don't even think they break the top 50 as far as donors are concerned, like as far as actual money given. So NRA messaging, that's interesting. As Donald Trump did last week when he said mental illness and hatred pulls the trigger, not the gun. Well, he's right that the gun doesn't pull the trigger. Mental illness and hatred pulls the trigger. I mean, yes, they are motivated by hate for whether it be, white supremacy or black supremacy or just, them being bananas. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep rolling. This is the same president who, during his first year in office, repealed a rule President Barack Obama and I put in place to help keep guns out of the hands of people with certain mental illnesses. Now, this, of course, is a lie. It's a straight-out lie. It's fake news and has been debunked. It is not true. So what's not true about it is that it wasn't that they were keeping the guns out of the hands of people with certain mental illnesses. This specific law was about individuals who could not, what's the word I'm looking for? Manage their pensions and their, all that good stuff. Like they're starting to lose their mental faculties, right? And so, again, there was no repeal of this. But anyway, let's keep going. But y'all already knew that. This is the same president who said after Charlottesville that there were very fine people on both sides. Okay, well, y'all already know about that. It continues to fan the flames of hate and white supremacy. We can trust this diagnosis. No, we can't. We have a huge problem with guns. Assault weapons. So, assault weapon isn't actually a legal term. There is such a thing as an assault weapon, and I'll explain to y'all a little bit about what that is. And some of you might already know, but there was a definition once that makes an assault rifle a select fire rifle. So, you can use a 3-round burst, with one trigger pull, or you can pull the trigger down, or there's this little action bar on the side that you can, like a toggle switch almost, and you can toggle between 3-round bursts and fully automatic and semi-automatic. But anyway, those guns are obviously almost never used in shootings as far as gun violence is concerned. But anyway, let's keep going. Military-style firearms designed to fire rapidly. Well, military-style firearms designed to fire rapidly, I mean, you can fire any gun rapidly if you modify it or if you learn and train with the gun and you understand how to use it effectively. But typically, whenever people use automatic fire, the truth is, automatic isn't really that accurate. You're going to miss a lot just because of the recoil, and it's very difficult to hold an automatic weapon steady to get a good grouping with an automatic weapon. But, well, that's not true. If you're really, really proficient with these weapons, it's just not ideal. Anyway, let's keep going. Are a threat to our national security, and we should treat them as such. Well, I guess they're not wrong about that. Not to our national security. I would say a threat to individuals, not necessarily national security. But anyway, let's keep going. No, I don't believe we should treat them as such because there are lots of defensive uses of these weapons. Anyone who pretends as if there's nothing we can do is lying. Well, I suppose there is something we can do, but how effective that solution will be is obviously up in the air. And holding that view should be disqualifying for anyone seeking to lead our country. And there we go. There's the President Trump bashing we all know and love from the New York Times. I know because with Senator Dianne Feinstein, I led the effort to enact the 1994 law that banned assault weapons and high-capacity magazines for 10 years. Those gun safety reforms made our nation demonstrably more secure. Now, this is very contentious because they outlawed the sale of automatic weapons, I believe. Or actually, I think Reagan outlawed it. I might be wrong about that. But the assault weapons ban, whatever that means, didn't really work. I mean, we still had weapons in circulation being used in crime. But anyway, let's keep going. They were also, sadly, the last meaningful gun legislation we were able to sign into law before the NRA and gun manufacturers put the Republican Party in a headlock. And here we go again. Here we go again. It's the NRA and it's the conservatives. And no, again, it's not. It really isn't. It is an issue with the person pulling the trigger, first and foremost. I fought hard to extend the assault weapons and high-capacity bans in 2004. Republicans who allowed these laws to expire asserted that they were ineffective. Well, they were not wrong, but almost 15 years after the bans expired, with the unfortunate benefit of hindsight, we now know they didn't. You're just lying. Many police departments have reported an increase in criminals using assault weapons. Again, they're classifying assault weapons as semi-automatic weapons. So that's almost every weapon. And multiple analyses of the data around mass shootings prove that evidence from 1994 to 04, the years when assault weapons and high-capacity magazines were banned, there were fewer mass shootings. But again, they're not using the same definition of mass shooting as we are. Fewer deaths, fewer families needlessly destroyed. Oh my God. There's overwhelming data that shootings committed with assault weapons kill more people. Again, they're just saying assault weapons as if all guns are assault weapons, and it's so not true. It's so misleading. It's such fake news. I hate reading this, but we gotta do it. Shooters looking to inflict mass carnage choose assault weapons with high-capacity magazines capable of holding more than 10 rounds. That's not true. I mean, again, most gun violence that happens in the United States is done with semi-automatic pistols, handguns. So, again, we're not even talking about... anyway, capable of holding more than 10 rounds. My pistol holds 10 rounds, honestly. And that would probably be more effective than an automatic weapon. It could be operated more effectively than an automatic weapon. But anyway. No, they want to kill as many people as possible with having to stop and reload. In Dayton, where the police responded and neutralized the shooter within about 30 seconds, he was still able to massacre 9 people and injure more than 24 because he carried an AR-style weapon. So again, when they say AR-style weapon, what they're not saying is the weapon itself, what he was actually carrying, which I believe was an something RS, or it was on the AR platform. So a platform is something akin to, I don't know how to explain this. How do I explain this? The platform is just the way you deliver the round. So you can shoot a 9mm out of something that looks like a handgun, like a regular handgun bullet, or there are some rifles that can shoot those bullets. So it just depends on which platform. So if you're using a Glock platform, that's a pistol. And you're using an AR platform, that means you're using an AR. So I guess style weapon would be, but anyway, it's not capable of holding 100 rounds. I mean, unless you have a drum mag, which I don't think you can get those. But anyway, we have to keep these weapons of war off our streets. 7% of the American public support an assault weapons ban. Again, assault weapons, they don't understand that they're banning all the weapons. So when they say assault weapons, they think it's automatic weapons or burst fire weapons, and those are currently not legal. But anyway, including 54%. When you think that kind of broad public support for legislation that will make their families safer and still get through the Senate, the problem is with weak-willed leaders who care more about their campaign coffers than children in coffins. And here we go, blaming the politicians for the shooting that went on by deranged individuals. Then he just says the 1994 assault weapons and high-capacity bans worked, right? Just straight out, a priori, I think is the correct Latin term. And again, it's just fake news. They're just lying. It's kind of sad because I think that we could offer solutions, some of which I think, we talked about this earlier, could be gun violence restraining orders, and it could be red flag laws. There was some discussion about having a judge take away somebody's guns if for whatever reason they became unwell, or whatever state we call about to homicidal. Anyway, so let's keep going. I won't stop there. I'll get universal background checks passed, building on the Brady Act. Again, we already have background checks, and that doesn't stop mass shooters. So let's get more background checks. I'll accelerate the development and deployment of smart gun technology. Well, see, this is actually kind of interesting here, because I think the smart guns can actually help, like with the biometric data. Now, from what I understand, they're not ready yet, but I think, in some small way, it could help, maybe stop a couple. So I wouldn't want the government saying, though, that you can only have smart guns. Does that make sense? So, like, you can still own, the old styles of weapons that don't, come with the new technology, but you still have access to the new technology. But anyway, I think that's a time issue more than it is a issue of technological advancement. Well, maybe those are one and the same, right? Because, over time, these technologies will be developed, but I don't think the government should say, this is what you need to research and this is what needs to happen, because generally the free market can figure it out. But anyway, there's so much we can do, practical, sensible steps that draw broad support among the American people, but we will see only more and deadlier shootings if we continue to dodge the core issue on unregulated assault weapons and high-capacity magazines in our community. So here they are, still driving home this point about assault weapons, which is totally dishonest, because, again, all of this stuff is already illegal. It's just like word salad. It's really weird. If we cannot rise to meet this moment, it won't just be a political failure, it will be a moral one. All right, look, I'm done. I can't read this fake news anymore, man. I understand it's opinion, but man, they gotta at least get something right. At least define mass shooting. At least define what it means to be an assault weapon. So, they're being dishonest, and frankly, I hate that. I hate dishonest people, because, man, we gotta have honesty. Anyway, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Once again, this was by the New York Times. The writer is by Joe Biden. Joe Biden actually wrote this. Oh my gosh. Anyway, y'all have a fantastic rest of the day, and we'll see you tomorrow.